Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be replacing the Coarse filter on a BMW F10 535i. You're going to find it located in the engine bay passenger side underneath this flap. Now in a previous video I did show you where that filter was and what's causing it. You'll eventually see this material end up inside of your cabin AC filters. If you do see that, this is the video you need to watch to replace that Coarse filter. This is the new part. Here's the part number right here on the screen. This is an upgraded part, so it's no longer the same Coarse material, but this one right here is upgraded, so it's not going to fall apart on you. We have 3 clips. And then this will come right off. Now we will be working with some power cables right here, so just to be on the safe side, we're going to go into the trunk and disconnect that battery. The battery is going to be in the trunk in the center. Flip this over. We're going to remove 2 10mm plastic nuts. You'll find the negative terminal here. Undo with a hand tool ratchet and just shove this down. Now that we have the power disconnected, we're going to remove the stabilizer bar. You have a 15mm screw here and one up there. Now all of this might look intimidating, not to worry, we're not doing much here. We're going to remove this protective cap that houses a 10mm nut. No power tools, everything by hand. And we're going to lift up the power cable, set this off to the side, and we can reconnect this. There's another power cable right here. Leave it on, you don't have to remove it. We'll just lower that down like that. Don't need to tighten it, and we'll just leave it like this. We have a T25 right here. Remove this completely. Now we can slide this back. So I guess there's a clip on this side. Just gotta unclip it. And then we can slide back. And this whole piece comes off, and we're just gonna fold it over. So it should look something like this. So I just folded the whole thing over. It's just gonna lay down right there. So now we have 4 T25s to undo. We have one right here, down there, in this corner, and in this corner. These you don't have to remove all the way, but you can if you want. Like, you could actually have these semi still inside the cover. And for the screw right there on the back left side, I actually come in at an angle from over here. See, I'm holding it right here. I'll turn from here. See, that's already off the box, so I don't have to remove it all the way. I could actually just leave it like that. This one here in the corner. We'll remove this. Right there is good. Now the last one here. So now the box can lift up and come off. Getting the T25 in this corner is a little hard. I'll put a link in the description for a small little tool set or a bit set that you can use to easily access that instead of using a screwdriver. Now you're going to have one connector. Now from here you can just go ahead, put the new one back on, but we're going to take it a step further because I want to make sure that there's no debris inside the blower motor and make sure we clear everything out. So we're going to remove this top part right here too to take a look. We have a couple of small T20 screws And that should free this up. So we have one more in the back. Right here in the back, you'll see the last T20. Oh, this should be free. Oh, one more down in the corner. And we have a connector in the way of it, but you can see it's right there. We're gonna undo this connector first. This is, you pinch both sides of this connector and it'll come undone. You see that T20 right there? But when we remove this, this is gonna get in the way. So we'll just remove this now. Actually, it won't be in the way. Dropped it. That's awesome. Okay. So now let's see here. Harness is in the way over here. Just flip this over real quick and look for that. Okay, so the screw fell down really far. Now I'm gonna have to remove everything just to get to it. So at least if you guys drop your screw, you'll know how to undo this whole thing to get to the screw if you drop it. This harness here, we're going to undo it because we can't fold this over comfortably in order to work. It's just a lot better if it's not here. So we'll start here at this connector. You see this little tab? Push this off to the side and then slide it out. It'll help you guys a lot if you take pictures of all this right now before you undo it, because this gets really tricky going back together. You have a connector right here to one of the stepper motors. Okay. And the last one here is this one right here. To get to the clip, it's kind of hard. So I'm just gonna go in here with the flathead and push that clip in. Now the reason why this is gonna get really confusing is because they all look the same. But take yourself a photo or record yourself doing it and know that this one right here goes right here. This connector goes down there. This long one's gonna wrap up around the top. And when you plug this in, there's gonna be some extra wire that was just tucked down in there inside this hole. I'll guide you as best I can as we continue, but do yourselves a favor and take notes. Okay, so I'll shove this down to the side. Now we're going to remove the power cable here. This has 2 pins on either side, and it'll release. Don't forget that. Put this to the side. And now we have 1, 2, 3 T25s. These don't need to be removed all the way, but you can remove them all the way if you want. The reason why I would recommend you don't remove them is because this gets confusing going back in. Really confusing. So just, it's better if you just leave the screws in there so you know where they're supposed to go. Because right here you can easily mistake this hole for that hole when you go back in. Remember, this is a T20, the smaller version. This is a T25 over here. So just loosen it, but don't take them out. Let's see, it should just slide up. Okay, so we're pretty much loose here. So this right here, we're just going to push the clip off to the side and then push down on it. so it comes off the holder. Okay, take this off. Here's the blower motor. Now this should not be really difficult to pull off. It should slide up easy, just like this. So I'm not really using a lot of force to lift this up. So if anything is caught, it means one of these screws is not all the way loosened up. So just make sure you loosen them up, and it should slide up easy like this. And we're gonna have one more connector, and that's gonna be for the final drive resistor right here. This right here, this is what controls your fan speed. So whenever you go to select how fast or how slow you want it, this is what's controlling all of that right here. And there's our screw. Look at them. Okay, there we go. From here, if you look inside here, you can see those microfilters. So you can see the air is going to blow out through that way. Right there. You have the one in the front and the one in the back. So that's why the material can get into the filters, or how it goes in through there. It has the mesh filter right here, gets sucked in through the blower, and it blows it through there. So now from here, you just want to make sure you don't have any debris inside of these fins, inside of the case. Looks good. These little things right here, those are weights to balance the fan right here. Otherwise, so this is like predetermined already. Don't mess with those, don't touch them, don't move them. If you play with them, you're gonna have some vibration coming through here. So in case you're wondering what those little things are, don't remove those. Those are weights to balance the fan, and they're in a specific spot. See how like the one over here is up higher? Just leave them alone, don't touch them. Well, since we're here, might as well show you how to replace the blower motor. Originally this video wasn't for this, but in case you guys need to replace it, I guess you'll get a little bonus to the video. We got a couple of T20 screws right here at the bottom. This comes apart in half, the case. So we just undo these T20 screws right here. Now this will just come apart. It should come apart. There we go, just like that. Put this half down here. This connector that goes to the final drive, will undo that. And it has a little slot here. Take it out of here. And that will release the blower motor. Right there. So if you go to replace the blower motor, if you're not here just for the coarse filter to clean this, if you need to replace this and that's why you're watching the video, your new blower motor is going to come with some rubber rectangles. They look like this. Replace them and put them right here. You're going to have 3 of them. So these just pop off. Just put the new ones in there. And on the other half, you'll see the other one right there. Just replace them. It reduces vibration. So you might as well put the new ones in if you got them. So from here, we'll just check to make sure the blower motor is clean. We don't have any debris in here. And then we can just go back and reassemble. If you're here because you need to replace the final drive, once you're here, it's just 2 T20 screws. Undo those, put the new ones in, and this is a plug and play, no programming necessary. So you could easily just replace this and you're good to go. Remember, don't use power tools here, hand tools only. You don't want to break this case. Okay, now that you have everything assembled, give this a little bit of turns like this. Don't spin it, you might damage it. We're just checking to make sure you don't hear any scratching. Nice and quiet. If you hear scratching, this is misaligned, it's lopsided somewhere. You did something wrong with the mounting portion, so just redo it. On this side, because this right here is going to clip in on the top piece. And make sure these slots slide into place, because if this is not in correctly, you're going to lose a ton of airflow. And you're gonna feel like you have no AC power or a very low blower fan speed. We can cover this up. Good. Now we can put this back inside here. It's a good time to reconnect this. And don't forget, I have one back here. This goes on top. So we'll put this right there so we don't forget it. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these three down. No power tools. And now for a tricky part. This piece here. We're going to grab the connector. Remember, as best you can, give you an idea. This is going to route that way, and these connectors here will kind of guide you which way they go in. So see that shape they're doing? See how that one's routing? So it goes right here. And then this one will connect to that stepper motor. And remember I told you you're gonna have some wire left over? This actually gets tucked inside here. And then this is gonna wrap around through this little hole, this little guide here. Back on over. So the wire goes through here, comes back out, wraps in here, and then this comes in here, and it's going to clip in from the bottom, and you slide up, and that connector goes right here. So we'll get this in place. All right, looks like it's coming together. Now we got to put the T20 screws back in. We're gonna start with the hardest one, just in case we do drop it again. So here's how I do it. Get a magnet tip, get it like that, and then go down there and aim it. I removed the connector right now from the holder, so you can better see what I'm doing, because it was blocking a good view. But see how I have the magnet with the screw? I'm gonna aim it in here and then try to leave it there, but I'm gonna reach in with my finger and try to get it to stay like that. So now you and come in with the T20 screwdriver. Very patiently screw this out. No power tools. Okay. Now we'll put this back on. For the screw hole back in the back, we'll do the same technique. Screw on the magnet in the hole, come down with your other hand, kind of guide it in place. It's actually kind of hard. This one has a lot of space actually. You could probably just do everything with one hand. Take the screw down and start it. Yeah, this is easier. Don't use the magnet on the back one. You could, well, I don't know, my hand fits. I'm not sure if yours will, but I was able to put it down there by hand and start a few threads. If that doesn't work, then use the magnet. And now the last two, right here in the front. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way so we can make room for our new coarse filter. Oh, actually, one thing I forgot to mention, we have to transfer the AUC sensor. And for this sensor here, we're gonna push in on this and then flick it down. You gotta do it on both sides though. It's basically squeezing both sides to unlock it. Now this is the AUC sensor. In case you're wondering what that is, it's a German acronym. Basically, whenever you set your air conditioning to automatic and recirculation, the automatic, this sensor comes into play. It's going to sense like really bad air, like high emissions from other cars, or dirty air, pollutants in the atmosphere, or not atmosphere, but around this sensor. So if you have it on automatic and it detects that a car is emitting a lot of pollution, or you're driving through an area that the air quality is really bad, this sensor will pick it up and will close your AC vent from the outside and turn it into recirculation for you, so you don't smell that. So that's what that sensor's for. Whenever you set it to automatic, this guy comes into play. That's good there. T25, 4 screws, no power tools. You can flip this over. This right here has 2 little prongs, and there's holes. Put those in first. So you're gonna have to like pull back on it, and then just slide in. This clipped in. You have your one T25 right here. Now we can undo the 10. And grab the terminal. Make sure it's seated all the way down, nice and straight. And using your hand tool, do not use power tools here. We're going to tighten this down, just slightly snug right about there. Slide your cover all the way to the end. Once it goes to the end, you'll see these are gonna snap into place. Well, not snap, but they're gonna line up. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video. This ended up being a little bonus. You now know how to replace the blower motor, the final drive, the coarse filter, how to clean it, and how to make sure everything's functioning and looking good. If you liked the video, if you learned something, if I helped you save some money, consider subscribing to the channel. Click right here for more videos on the BMW F10 535 and 55 engine. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.